Well, with Mother, she started wearing the same clothes over and over again, and sometimes when we would go to see her, things would be put in the wrong place in the refrigerator, things that weren't supposed to be in the refrigerator. Her clothes were starting to be soiled, and she would wear dirty clothes, and her hygiene wasn't the way it should be. And they just started eating the same things over and over again, and being real secretive. And at one point she told me she was driving down the street and she just couldn't remember where she was. And I didn't think anything of it at the time, but that was a part of it. My sister came. She's the one that she had been a caregiver for Alzheimer's and other dementias. So she is the one that pushed the issue, because it's uncomfortable being a family member, especially being a parent, a child, to bring up the subject and to get help. Because for one thing, you're in denial, and then for the other, if you expose this, then that means you're going to have to step up and do something. My baby sister, once my mother got diagnosis, she took Mother and Daddy in for a year, and then when I retired, I took Mother in. But to get back to the signs, for my husband, this has been going on with him for a number of years, and I had been talking to his doctor about it, and with him getting lost, he was supposed to pick me up at certain places, and he would never find the place. It's familiar places. He started having accidents, and he totaled 2 or 3 cars. And when I would take him to the doctor and say, he needs to be tested to see a neurologist, and he said, "Oh no, there's nothing wrong with Mr. Mason. He's just he's not motivated, and after all, he's 80 years old, and and they give you this runaround." And I shouldn't say runaround. I think he really wanted to believe that there was nothing wrong with my husband, because he had been his doctor for a long time, and they're good old buddies. He looked up to him, and they're friends. It's just like how a child does with a parent. You're kind of in denial. But through the Alzheimer's Association, I was able to go around Kaiser and his doctor and have him tested at Davis, and that's where we got the diagnosis. And then I was able to. They sent the form to the DMV right away and took his license away. That was a difficult thing to do, because he didn't. It was hard for me to bring up the subject. But once I got the diagnosis, everything on paper, then I was able to say, this is what we have to do. Because every time he would leave the house, I'd be afraid that he wasn't going to come back, or he was going to kill somebody out there, and it was very stressful. So with the Alzheimer's Association and Davis, with the testing, it just took a load off my mind and just made it all plain what I was supposed to do.